Hello, and welcome everyone to another fantastic episode of the Absolute Women's Football Show. We're back with all of your latest news, updates, live updates, because of course we've got the Champions League currently playing out. And as Emma rightly said, Team Chaos, where are you? We are here. Never fear at all. Hey, Danny's even on the screen and in the chat.
I know, it's magic.
Multitasker extraordinaire.
Am I here? Am I there? Is it really me? Am I alive? Where are we?
Is it Phil Neville?
Is it Phil Neville? Where is
it's
it?
Not Phil. That was early. There he is. Back.
Hey.
Ready?
Had him so handy. There we go.
Yeah, he's always by my side, is Phil.
That's genuinely unsettling.
He just walks around Tesco with me and just on my shoulder like a parrot.
You should. Do you ever? Any hoodie that you've got to put his face on the back, a bit like Voldemort.
Yes.
Or put it on the back of your head, put your hood up, and then just slowly reveal it.
Yeah, filled him.
And let people have a look. Now we do have to say, as soon as we got on here, everyone went, the chat is going mad. Yes, they absolutely are. Thank you to everyone who was here so early. I think Graham, you were here earliest today. How early is too early? Asking for a friend. Never too early, Graham, of course. Good evening to Matthew, Mark, Emma, everyone who's in the chat. I can't keep up with all these messages. Good evening to Sean. Why is everyone calling me names? Go for having to sit through all this garbage. Yeah.
I called you Aston Freya, which I thought was genius.
Yeah, Aston Freya. Where did that come from? Calling Freya Villa. Am I Villa? What? How rude. I can't decide if I'm offended or not.
I'm saying I bet Rosie doesn't know what MySpace is.
MySpace. Can we just have a minute for MySpace, right? It needs to come back.
What was your MySpace song?
Friends.
You know, everyone had a song on their profile.
Oh, what's that? I think I had something like, I think it was Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly was one of mine for ages.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I'm going to have a think now. But yeah, just being able to put that song on your profile is just incredible.
I had one friend and it was the guy from MySpace.
Tom.
What was his name? Was it Tom? Yeah. That was me and Tom.
Oh, everyone loved Tom. I do have to say, though, Aston Freya, am I going to have to change my name? Maybe I'll bring them luck if I change my name. So let's do it. How are you both? Are we well?
Well, very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Not bad, thank you. Yeah, we were just talking off air. Well, hey, about how the certain app that we're all watching, most of us are watching it on tonight, is awful. You can never get logged in, and then it tells you there's a device limit, which I've never known before. So everyone that is currently watching the Arsenal Real Madrid game, please do keep us updated. I know, Danny, you've got it on the background as well, haven't you?
It's just down here, yeah, my phone. Yeah. But the chat will tell us about 5 minutes before my phone catches up.
I was going to say, everyone in the chat, we know you are so good at doing this. There was an earlier match as well, of course, which ended 4-1 to Lyon. They did have a bit of a scare, though. They went 1-0 down. Bayern scored first through Clara Bull, of course. But Lyon woke up in the second half and got four past the keeper from Demone, Diani, Chewinga, and who was the fourth one? Ada Hegerberg, of course it was.
Which Chewinga plays for Lyon? Because there are Chewinga sisters. It's Tabitha who plays for Lyon, and 10 more plays in the WSL.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, they do. So that was an aggregate of 6-1. Okay, and at the moment, of course, 0-0. See, James is on it there. 0-0, 39 minutes. Arsenal are 2-0 down, of course, after the awful pitch of Real Madrid last week. So yeah, they've got to overcome that deficit. What do we think? Odds? Do we think they're going to do it, or is it going to go to extra time? What do we think?
Oh, I think they need one soon if they're going to do it.
Tony, you're saying that, and then I just saw in the chat. And went,
oh, very good.
Nice.
Very good. See, this is the community we brought together, everyone. Can we just be really proud?
I'm really enjoying the fact they still use the umlaut on there. Is that what it's called?
Tony, smashing it.
Can we just take the fact that it used to be just Graham? Graham has set a precedent, and now everyone is trying to out Graham. Like,
everyone's copied it and gone, yep, I can get on board with this. Oh, we love it. We love it. So big mountain for Arsenal to climb this evening. However, it looks like a very good attendance at the Emirates. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. And again, we'll keep you updated, or more so, you guys will keep us updated as to what is going on. Other latest news then, Nottingham Forest women won the FA Women's National League Cup against Stoke City at the weekend. So congratulations to them. We've had a few record-breaking attendances this week, and one of them was Ipswich Town women. Did we see this one? They set their attendance record of 10,807, which is also a record in the Women's National League this season, which is fantastic. And we've also had our first Division 1 winner. Did we see this as well? This was AFC Bournemouth. They're the first Tier 4 champions to be crowned because they're Division 1 Southwest. We showed you those tables a few weeks ago. After winning 18 out of 18 matches, and they've still got 4 games in hand. So they've already been crowned champions. So that is just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just wrong division stuff, isn't it?
Yes,
like...
yeah.
I was going to say, so next season, they're going to be showing what they're worth, showing their stuff. And of course, the Lionesses and Young Lionesses lineups were announced. It was just yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, yesterday. We have a new face in the midfield. Are we Maisie Simmons or Maisie Simons? I never know which one.
I think Simmons.
Simmons?
I would go with Simmons.
Yeah, it's always the Y. The Y just throws you off, with English being the strange and wonderful language that it is. Gets her first senior call-up because, of course, we've got lots of injuries in the midfield area, haven't we? How do we feel about Maisie getting the call-up? Because I know a few of us were probably surprised isn't the right word, but maybe surprised, actually. Yeah, Paul, how do you feel about her being called up?
Is Maisie Simmons really one of the 6 best English midfielders who's currently fit?
Well,
that's the question I'd ask, and it sounds really harsh, doesn't it? But it's not. It's like.
Have you thought of anyone else instead that maybe you think would be further up the pecking order?
I mean, like you say, I'm surprised, even though she's kind of in the NWSL. I'm surprised Katie Zalem isn't getting mentioned. Serena Wieben appears to have just kind of memory holder, like, and
well, yeah, because Esme Morgan again playing in the NWSL, but she's still getting called up. Same for Jess Carter. So it's not that she's not looking at the NWSL, but yeah, Maisie seems to be
like, I kind of get bringing new players through, but when you look at the under-23s, you think, is Maisie Simmons really the one you want to bring through, or is it the let's bring someone up for experience, but she's never going to get anywhere near the field?
Well, that's the thing. It's, are these players coming for the experience, or is it actually that they've got something they can bring on otherwise? Because if we look at the young Lionesses under 23s, I did have it up. When it refreshes and it just takes everything else away. Okay, so let's have a look. We're loading. Because you've got people like Missy Ball-Kearns, haven't you? I'm trying to think off the top of my head while this loads. I
wasn't sure if Missy Ball-Kearns was injured. I assumed that it must be because she was injured.
Nope. She's fine.
So
yeah, she's fine. So we've got, let's have a look. Midfielders. Missy Ball-Kearns, Lexi Lloyd-Smith. We've been good one. Liv McLaughlin. She, again, good shout. Malika Mina, Bristol City. Ruby Grant, Bayer Leverkusen. And Sarah Bracero.
Yeah.
Who is playing out in Estoril Praia.
I'm sure Sarah Bracero was at Lewis briefly previously. Why does that name seem familiar? But yeah, when you think of names, Lexi Lloyd-Smith, I know Danny's raved about her this season, and she's a heck of a player. I'm convinced not playing in the WSL has counted against Lexi Lloyd-Smith, and that's the only reason.
It might be her position as well. There's just slightly more attacking, isn't she? Than Simmons. So that it might be something to do with that. But yeah, you're probably right as well that it's not getting as much exposure as the rest of them.
They should all be playing in the double LSMPG apparently.
Otto is on one tonight. We've also got we can't forget about Katie Zelensky.
Yes.
Zellum.
Apparently Katie Zelensky is very combative in the midfield.
Very good.
Doesn't like Russians.
And again, Matthew, you're absolutely right. Otto has gone rogue. Yes, he has this evening. And Tony, keep us for the updates. 0-0 at half time. So good news and bad news, because obviously Arsenal should have really got something in this first half, but still got 44.
Well, apparently I haven't been watching it, but I was keeping up, and something that struck me was Catherine Batt, obviously friend of the podcast, saying the amount of crosses Chloe Kelly is putting in that are just begging to get finished.
Yeah.
And nobody's getting on the end of them. Which, with someone like Russo leading the line, you kind of expect, because isn't that what we're all told is her big thing?
And that's the thing. The bit I saw before I came up to prepare, make sure everything was ready for here, Russo was getting up there. And it makes you wonder where that maybe disjointedness is, and maybe what Renee can say at halftime to hopefully get that back together. So yeah, a big second half for them. For the seniors though, Kiara Keating's back, Beth Mead and Fran Kirby all make their return as well. So yeah, absolutely massive to see Fran back, of course. Do we think Danny maybe Fran more of like a impact player, or do you think she'll be back in that starting 11?
Yeah, probably impact player for her, but she's got that experience as well, hasn't she, to get through games, particularly maybe the away game in Belgium as well, which is going to be potentially a little bit more difficult things to deal with, and different things to deal with away from home. But yeah, good to see her back anyway, because always good to see her in there.
Yeah, in and amongst it, and we know exactly what she can do and what she's been doing at Brighton this season as well. Now, last thing on this part of the news, Paul, there was a little interview released today that you were going to sum up for us in about 45 seconds. So,
get the timer on.
Timer starts.
Is there a timer running?
Now, go.
So, BBC Sport spoke to Willie Kirk today.
So,
well, that's ruined it. BBC Sport spoke to Willie Kirk today, who is on the Willie Kirk redemption tour, and it's a year since he was sacked for basically having a relationship with a player who was revealed to be Hannah Kane, who still plays for Leicester. Key quotes that he came out with were basically, I didn't do anything illegal. And also, when will it be acceptable? It's never acceptable, in the same sentence. So it's like, well, there's your answer, Willie. But he also pointed out that he has applied for every WSL and Championship vacancy that's come up and didn't even get an interview. I'm not fucking surprised, Willie. You should probably consider why. And yeah, I get that the BBC have to cover this, and I get that it's a story, but why are we giving someone who knowingly broke his own club's code of conduct and abused his power the chance to put his case? He doesn't have one in this case. And that's you could go on about it, but that's all you really need to say about it, because otherwise we'll start getting into debates about moral and legal and
all that jazz.
That jazz.
And it's so the article did come out, the interview did come out. He still thinks he's innocent. However, illegal, no, but the moral compass may need realignment. Perfect summary of what's gone on there. Yeah, and we need more positive people in women's football, not those who are gonna try and toe the line between what's acceptable and what's not. So yeah, what a lovely little summary, Paul. Well done.
How many seconds was that?
Over 45 seconds.
Oh.
Over a minute, but
Can I just point out 15 seconds of it was laughing at Phil Neville? So if you take that off, I did manage it.
Many people have used that argument over the years.
Perfect.
If you need a laugh, we believe in Phil Neville.
Yes.
We believe Phil can do this for us. Right then, shall we get on with some match reports then? So we're back. We'll do the WSL again this week. I quite like flip-flopping between the two. It's quite nice. Different starters. Now, having a little look, it was the majority of home teams that were the dominant ones this weekend, and quite a few high score lines too. Never apologise, Chris. You're always welcome wherever and whenever you turn up. Don't worry about that. So yeah, obviously the one at the bottom, I can't wait to talk about. However, Paul, we're going to come to you first because Everton 3, Crystal Palace 0. Great for Villa, even better for Everton and Brian Sorensen because they're really coming into their own now, aren't they? Tell us all about it, please.
Well, the first bit, and I've put this quote in the group chat, it was just lovely to see an optimistic Brian Sorensen. Like, his personality has always kind of come out, but, you know, obviously Chloe Bear has said many times, he just wants to give him a hug at press conferences because he's working with all the issues that he has, and now he's finally getting rewarded for all that perseverance. And Tom Gary highlighted a quote that he came out with after the game in his post-game press conference, where he said, "We spent the past year and a half, because of the situation and injuries, basically fighting for our lives. So we haven't really had time to enjoy ourselves and always been looking over our shoulders. Now stuff's starting to come together and we can look at the teams above us rather than the teams below us and start to close down on them. It's hunting season."
I love that.
Ooh.
You know, that's a football blockbuster quote, isn't it? You need the epic voice, don't you? In a world where a team in blue fights against adversity. You know, and just...
yeah, and that could be the tagline of the film. It's hunting season.
It's
like
hunting
that's
season.
it. Scringle's black.
just like a proper and Kelly Gargo at full speed or something, like
It's
scream free
tearing through. Yeah.
Is hunting season the same kind of thing as Chico time?
Why would you bring that up?
I don't think there's quite a dance to it as Chico
No.
time.
What's the I can't remember the dance.
That's like a collective memory we've all agreed to just forget. You've just brought that back up.
It's Snedden 1 week, Chico the next. Who will it be next time? Michelle McManus, maybe? I don't know.
We're going to bring up bloody Wagner. Jesus.
Ridian.
Oh, that's a
Ridian.
That's the voice you need for that hunting season quote. That the fella from what's his thing?
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Oh, we do. Oh, the X Factor voices. Yes. Oh, we need it. Hey, Tony approves.
Ollie Maz. I don't know.
That's how Brian Sorensen should be announced in future.
Yeah.
Anywhere he goes.
Brian.
Brian Sorensen.
Oh yeah, you can roll the R's in both of them, can't you? Like,
yeah.
The question would be whether you went up at the end like Danny did, or you go Brian Sorensen like that.
And welcome to the Absolute Women's Football Podcast, where we do talk about football. We promise.
Oh yeah.
Can I just point out you've even got Tony going, sorry, if someone turns around and goes, "What a fucking reference!" That's you've impressed them then, don't you?
Oh, this is good. Yeah, but then my brain goes to when Peter Kay did Geraldine McQueen, and then that's a completely different story.
Actually, no, Grail just put that, and now I've got a vision of Brian Sorensen walking through Walton Hill Park, just looking over his shoulder, going, "Shh, be very, very quiet. We're hunting Spurs." So anyway, Team Chaos is off and running.
Yeah, so it only took 20 minutes, didn't it? Hey, we're back. we're back.
So the game itself.
Yes.
Everton 3, Crystal Palace 0, and just Kelly Gargo. Like,
Yes.
There you go.
Brought her into my fantasy team this week. Lovely
Hey.
stuff.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Second week she's been in mine now. Well, hey, bring her back in.
but the key thing is, and it was mentioned on commentary as well. She and Tony Payne together.
Yes.
They're just such. It's hard to believe they've only been playing together for a month or two, because they just work so well. They just complement each other so well. Like, Everton outshot Crystal Palace 12-9. 6 of them were on target, which is more than Arsenal get on target in about 3 games normally. And just the way they played together. I mean, the first goal was a little bit chaotic, a little bit unfortunate, because it was a cross lifted into the box. 2 Palace players, Alec Nowen and Katie Stengel, kind of both looked at each other and went, "Your ball," and Justin van Hevermaet stepped in and finished from close range. So 1-0 down at half-time, although Everton had been the better team and were good value for their lead. They decided to start the second half, just get out there early, girls. Don't concede. Play yourselves into the game. You're only 1-0 down. 37 seconds later, Sarah Holmgard made it 2-0 to Everton. So whatever the team talk from Leaf was, it didn't go very well. In fact, one might say, no, I can't make a decent Leaf pun. It's really annoying. One might say he was blown away. There you go. That's the closest I can get. And then for the rest of the match, Crystal Palace were in a classic position where they worked hard, but didn't really. I'm distracted because Danny's laughing.
Kelly Gags made an appearance in the chat.
Kelly Gags.
Kelly Gags.
Are we back on the sub cup?
Still Fincas Marino all over again.
Oh,
They've got a minute and a half till 9 o'clock, guys. Just keep.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. Matthew's done it. Palace are yet to turn over a new leaf. Hey.
There we go.
Thank you, Matt, for putting us back on. Because I bloody love Kelly Gags, and my instant response was, "Does she?" And no.
No.
Maybe she means Kelly jokes. Like, she needs some Kelly jokes. Like,
we do need some Kelly jokes.
Knock who's there, Kelly something.
Kelly.
I haven't got an end to that.
We'll think about it.
Kelly Gargo, Kelly Gar went.
Yes.
Anyway.
It'd be like that means when it's Kelly Gargo, Kelly Gar stop. Like.
Award-winning podcast, everybody.
Kelly Gags.
Otto's done me. Otto's absolutely done me.
Oh. Honestly, Otto needs to sponsor this podcast.
Guess who scored the 3rd goal for Everton as well? In the 96th minute, she did indeed score her now obligatory almost goal for Everton to steal what was a fairly comprehensive win, and should perhaps worry Palace a little, because time's starting to run out for them now.
Yeah.
They choked a little bit, didn't they, Palace?
They did. Sorry.
Stop it.
You knew what you were doing then. You knew exactly what you were doing then. 50 Shades of Kelly.
No. Hey, Tony's got a good idea. Clip it up and send it to the award for consideration for next year.
Send it to the Adult Video Awards. Jesus.
Oh, dear me. Right, it's 9 o'clock now. And
it is. We've already got it all out the way. But
yes,
Crystal Palace, they are going to have to be very careful if they don't want to go down themselves, and not in the good way. Because yes,
you got the eye roll.
I got the eye roll.
Got the eye roll.
Palace need to go for the throat more. Nice, great. Yeah, this is going to be a long night. Settle in,
Don't,
everyone.
Graham.
We
need to play it deep. Anyway.
No. Stop.
This is definitely not.
See, Emma's going to tell you all off, right?
It's your fault. It's flipping Emma's fault in the first place. So, anyway, Kelly Gargo scored the third goal. And then we had Brian Sorensen with the wonderful hunting season quote, and also announced that he and his partner are expecting a little boy as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
fantastic news.
And did anyone see the little clip that Everton put up? It's just 3 seconds of Brian basically saying, we're expecting a little boy. And the way he looks at his partner, even my cynical, rotten black heart melted for that one.
No, it was. And, congratulations to Brian and his partner, because just the joy he brings to that team and to women's football and to us talking about him on the podcast, like we literally want nothing but the best.
I mean, he even liked my tweet saying congratulations to him.
Yeah, he did.
Honestly.
And that just shows you what
and on top of all of that, Rika Madsen got proposed to as well at the end of the day.
Yes, I was going to say that. Hang on. Where's it gone?
And presumably said yes, because nobody's feeling awkward about talking about it.
Yeah, because it was after the game, wasn't it? So yeah, congratulations to Rika Madsen on getting engaged. Matthew asks, is Chloe Bear getting invited to the wedding? She will try. She will try, and hopefully, Brian, can put a good word in. Our first podcast wedding, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Just highlight. But yeah, no, congratulations to those indeed. Tony's, but I like when Rika showed off her baby like Simba. Yes, absolutely.
Can we just shout her out too for coming back 5 months after giving birth, by the way? That's ridiculous. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic.
Oh, there's a goal. There's a goal.
There's a goal.
Hello.
There's a goal, but who to, Chris? Arsenal have taken the lead.
Through who? Do we know through who?
I'm just waiting for the goal to go in. I just saw it on the chat. It's Russo on the end of a cross, Paul.
Yes. Yes. You see? Listen.
Love it.
46.
Oh, the big flags are up.
Russo
giant flags are out.
This is what that's better analysis than Gilly Flattis. The trouble with Spurs is that they haven't scored enough goals and they've conceded too many.
That's good. Yes.
Weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, that's groundbreaking stuff.
That's what you get paid the big bucks for.
Did she then follow her with, well, when I was playing?
I remember when I was playing in a completely pointless game that happened in 2019 or something.
I love that you said 2019 as if it was like really long ago, whereas I still think it's like last week.
I didn't mean that. It was more than her career ended 2 years ago now, so I had to go like further back.
No, it just made me laugh. Okay.
It was a lovely goal. If Emma's saying in capitals that it was a lovely goal. Like,
I think Emma sometimes gets stuck in capitals because sometimes she texts me just in all caps and then apologizes and then sends another one through.
So presumably then, if Arsenal get another, then we're talking the drama of extra time and penalties. And
hey, it's what we're here for. It's why we're live.
Live reaction. There you go.
Live reaction to it.
And me with the white eyeliner for Real Madrid as well. Cool.
If they win, though, I mean, did we talk about it last week? The fact that the manager of the boss, Real Madrid, says, "Oh, the women can play at the main stadium when they actually win something."
Yeah, the Real Madrid club president.
Yeah.
And then they went and won the Clasico the week after for the first time. Like,
yeah, can we just have a shout out for Real Madrid for doing that, please? First time ever they won the Clasico with Barcelona. So it maybe shows that Barcelona are more human than we thought, which I'm sure you were very happy about, Paul.
I might have been. I might have enjoyed that one. I'm not even really a Real Madrid fan because I haven't really got a Liga F team. It's just Barca losing. I'm open about it.
Any time that Barca lose. Oh, hey, Chris is on it. 2-0 Arsenal.
Hello.
2-0.
Russo from another cross.
Oh, it's just come up with +2, but who is it?
Who is it? I'm still waiting. Still back with the keeper on my screen.
I love that. 2-0 Arsenal. What?
Yeah. So on my
2-0.
screen, Alex Scott's got the ball. She's driving into the middle.
Alex
There we
Scott.
go. That's how far behind it.
I love this.
It's
Mario-
Rachel Yankee playing right wing. Like
Mariona, Caldente.
Mariona in the middle.
Thank you, everyone. In the chat for
Mario.
that. Right.
It's a Mariona.
It's a me, Mariona.
That was excellent. Enjoyed that.
Thank you. Now it is 2-2 then on aggregate. So game on. Arsenal are doing what they absolutely need to do, and we're all here for it. And until then,
I don't think Paul's here for it.
Well, Danny, we're going to come to you. Oh, yes. Go on then.
I was going to say I kind of am because drama. It'll be more fun if they lose 3-2 than if they win 3-0. So on aggregate.
I just heard we've got to drive the van, and I was like, what? So hey, I'll roll with it. That's fine.
Go on, Daddy. I'll shut up now. I've talked way too much already.
Who's driving a van?
I've no idea. That's what I heard from Paul, which is not what he said. But yeah, that's why I was slightly confused. So we'll move on. It's all good. It's fine. Danny, I'm going to come to you then, because again, Arsenal at the weekend absolutely destroying Liverpool 4-0. Talk to us about this one, please.
They did. I think this was a lot in response to the FA Cup defeat a couple of weeks ago. They might have angered the beast a little bit in this one because it was pretty much all Arsenal, as we've seen tonight. And I almost think maybe they needed this as a warm-up to tonight. They needed to kind of go there and really put a marker down on Liverpool and think, right, this is what we need to do on Wednesday night. Let's go and hammer Liverpool and see if we can repeat that on Wednesday and get in that rhythm of scoring goals, which they absolutely did. They dominated. They took I'll go straight to the goals. Yeah, they took the lead. Corner wasn't cleared properly. Came forward, scrambling it in. And then they decided to go and score again 90 seconds later. I think Liverpool had taken the kickoff, gave the ball away. Kim Little cut one back, and it goes in off Jasmine Matthews, who we might be hearing from again in just a little bit. She put it into her own net. Leonardson Mornham hit the post. Williamson had a header wide. Mariona. It's a me. Which he scored an absolutely lovely goal. Edge of the area, left-footed, curled it in. Peach of a goal. Not quite a thunder bastard, but a nice little peach into the corner. And she was playing like a little bit deeper. I think she is a little bit tonight as well. She's playing in a little bit of a more kind of holding midfielder role, but she's bursting forward and getting involved. So it's a little bit of an interesting position-wise for her. And then just more of the same in the second half as well, but just the one goal in the second half. And Matthews decided to put one other one into her own net. Beth Mead with the cutback this time. And Matthews there, unfortunately, with another own goal. Not often you get two own goals in one game, but she did in this one. But yeah, a little bit for Liverpool, I think, have been brought down to earth with a bit of a bump in this one. But yeah, like I said, I think probably didn't catch Arsenal at the right time with this one, because they're going to be fully focused on sort of Wednesday and going out there was almost a practice game for this one. And it seems like it's done its job so far. Again, back to the kind of Renee Sleggers that we were used to a few weeks ago, back in the groove a bit now. And yeah, should be a decent end to the season for them. And, you know, if they can take this... Oh, no, I thought Real Madrid were breaking away then. But no, if they can kind of keep this going, they'll finish strongly, and they'll all be focused towards the Champions League as well, which is probably the one thing that they can win now.
Yeah, and it's nice to see Arsenal be the team that, you know, like aren't defeated after a certain number of goals or going against them. Like they finally feel like the team again who can come back from 2-0 down.
They've always got goals in them, haven't they?
Belief about them, haven't they?
Yeah, and they're playing with such a freedom still again, and so they've really attacked a really good Liverpool team who've been in good form. So yeah, I think they'd be really, really good to watch at the moment as well.
Yeah, because last week we said, oh, that might be maybe a bit tight because of how Liverpool are playing. Yeah. And then I think when I saw the result, I was like, oh, yeah, it wasn't at all. No, it was.
No, the performance as well was so dominating as well at the same time.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah. Liverpool just couldn't do anything with it, could they? 100%. Now, another one. Let's have a look. I'll talk next, shall I? So this was Man City 1, Chelsea 2. This was the third, of course, of 4 consecutive games. And you just think, they've got to be bored of it by now, haven't they? With this. But it was Manchester City who brought the deadlock first just after the 30-minute mark. Carolyn was allowed far too much space. She was just like dancing through the defence and just like took her time. And yeah, far too much time on the edge of the box. Took a shot that went through the legs of Millie Bright and straight past Hannah Hampton as well for 1-0. Hasegawa, of course, all of our love for Hasegawa, came close to adding a second from a dangerous free kick, but her effort was deflected off the crossbar. In a very dominating first half for City, Jess Park, of course, also had her goal disallowed. I don't know if anyone else saw this, probably did. Now, it was a strange one, wasn't it? Because she'd scored, but the ref didn't play advantage because they'd blown for a free kick in their favour.
Such a ridiculous decision.
It was
so silly.
I don't know what went through their mind. But Nick Cushing did come out afterwards and the officials had said, whoops, sorry, that was a mistake. And you just think if City had gone 2-0 up at half time, that would have just completely changed that mindset. And yeah, so it went in 1-0 at half time. And of course, Chelsea did Chelsea things. A few minutes after the restarts, they got their equaliser through Aggie Beaver-Jones, again, who shot the ball under the outstretched arm of Keating in the 49th minute. Great to see Keating back. She made some fantastic saves, including one minutes later to deny captain a second for Chelsea. Chelsea, again, found an extra gear, as we've seen them do plenty of times. And this was when the tides completely changed into a Chelsea-dominated end of the game. So it was wave after wave of attack on City's goal. They had 28 shots in total, Chelsea. But none of them came to any avail until the first minute of added time when Erin Cuthbert, who came on as a sub, and by the way, you can tell when Cuthbert comes on, can't you? She's just completely changed that mentality. And her header was the one that finally made it past Keating for that last minute winner. And you just think, of course, of course they found a last minute winner. I think Matthew's happy about it. He's very...
It changes when Erin Cuthbert comes on. I'm going to reference wrestling again. You know when you have a tag team match and one of the wrestlers is getting absolutely beaten up over and over again, and the one tag team is very clearly dominating, and then they finally desperately reach across the ring and finally get that tag.
Yeah.
And the second
the diving tag, and the second wrestler just comes steaming in and beats the heck out of everybody, just like an absolute the hot tag. I think it's called
the hot tag.
Yeah.
That's Erin Cuthbert coming on as a sub.
That is absolutely what it is. Yeah.
Chris has got it. Yeah. It makes me feel very, is it like Scrappy Doo? And it's like, let me at him. It's that.
Yeah.
Comes on fighting. It's like, right, come on, let's go. We're not winning. We should be. What's happening? But yeah, you can just feel that.
She's
phenomenal.
Mentality.
She's so underrated. She is. Chelsea's
I don't understand how she's underrated now as well. It's ridiculous at this point. Like how do people? I don't know whether it's the position she plays, but she's just phenomenal.
I would say she is the best box-to-box midfielder in the WSL. She's the best midfielder in her role. Everyone talks about Stanway, but Erin Cuthbert, if there were a way to swap nationalities and you could swap nationalities of one player, I would swap Erin Cuthbert for Georgia Stanway.
Yeah. Can you imagine Erin Cuthbert in our Lionesses midfield? That would just be insane. I'm just it's because she's Scottish. I'm not quite I don't know where that went from.
Oh, it's 3-0.
Hello.
3-0. Phew, Arsenal. You know exactly what you're doing. Again, I tried to get the lovely app up on my phone and it just buffered and went, nah.
And
Oh, wait,
again,
celebrations. It's on. We're on. We're good.
Cat's key. Cat's key, apparently.
Cat Lee.
That's
Cat key. Catlet.
taxi.
Catlet.
Catlet, it's a little cat.
Yes.
Or you rent a cat.
A cat key is something you use to get into a cat's house.
But just so we know, everybody, here is me publicly. You can clip this up, Sam, if you want. 40 minutes. This is me publicly taking my words about Leslie Russo earlier in the season.
What?
I'm eating them.
Eating them. Oh.
Wow. Live. You heard it here first, folks.
I am man enough to admit.
Oh, that's nice.
When I'm, and she's having a heck of a season.
Gets the flick on.
She's having a heck of a season since Renee, I think, isn't she, as well?
Renee
Slagers may be the best thing to happen to the Lionesses in a long time.
In fact, do you think Renee would take the job?
Come on.
Her and Serena could just do a swap for a little bit. That'll be fine, right? That's how this works.
It's Dutch managers. Leslie Russo and Dutch managers. It just seems to work.
They do. They do. As Graham Wright said, Kent's finest, Leslie Russo. But yeah, so just confirmation, aggregate is currently 3-2. Arsenal in the 59th, nearly 60th minute, look like they are going through to the next round. If they keep it, but they've just got to add to it, and they look like they're not stopping anytime soon.
You've just killed that. Caroline Weir breakaway in the last minute.
Well, that's not on my screen, so
that's happening. Caroline Weir breakaway in the last minute.
So, I mean, it's Caroline Weir. She's going to score regardless of what I say. Caroline, ever since she's come back from ACL, you just think she's incredible. She's unstoppable. So, of course, she was starting this evening. She came on a super sub last time, didn't she? And someone put in the chat earlier, "Ooh, look what's possible when they're playing on a good pitch." And absolutely right. It is a beautiful, beautiful pitch. And I think possibly they're breaking the attendance record for a Champions League match this evening. Possibly. I saw somewhere in the ether. So yeah, again, we'll keep you up to date with that one. Oh, corner come in. Oh,
riveting. That's riveting commentary. That was right. Corner come in. Oh.
Hey, I summed it up. I summed up the emotion for you. What else do you want? Yes, so that was Chelsea again, back to winning ways, and they've put themselves, let's have a look, retain their top spot, of course, 8 points clear of Arsenal in second place. Man City now having to fight for any hopes of Champions League next season because they are 7 points behind United. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one if they still want Champions League next season. Right then, let's come on to Paul. We'll come to you. Leicester 3, Brighton 2, and I don't think anyone saw this one coming. Where have this Leicester been? That they're actually scoring.
As James pointed out earlier on, back at the start of the show, third win in a row for Leicester. They're really starting to pull away. Amandine Mikel is really starting to get them going, if you like. And the Japanese connection, Yuka Mimiki, for example, has been huge. And I think you cannot underestimate her influence. But it will come as no surprise to people who I'm about to sing the praises of for Leicester. There may be a slight clue, just a little one, but behind me, the reason I have this every week, this is one of my proudest possessions, which is very, very strange. If Simon's in the chat, Simon will tell you. For a Coventry City fan to say one of their proudest possessions is a Leicester City shirt is, Newcastle fan liking Sunderland kind of level.
I thought you were going to go Rebecca Stitch. I've got the completely wrong side of your shoulder.
No, that's a reference to Michael Stitch.
What?
Hey, there you go. If anyone gets that one in the chat, that's a belter one. But no, Shan O'Brien is a Coventry girl, of course, Coventry's finest. If Russo is Kent's finest, Shannon O'Brien is Coventry's finest. And I first was lucky enough to see her age 17 playing for the now sadly departed Coventry United. And you know when you see a player and just know they are going to go top level. Like, I remember saying at the time, she's going to play for England at some point. And she has suffered injury issues the past year or so, the past 18 months. But she is a forward player who also can play wide and has at times played almost wing back, or seemingly played wing back for Leicester. But now she's come back and she got the first goal. All of this is leading to the fact that she got the first goal for Leicester against Brighton. And what a belter it was as well. You know, a proper drive from the edge of the area. Not quite Thunderbastard territory, but a still absolute belter of a goal. What was it? Wampa Banga Wanga of a goal. There you go.
Wampa Banga Wanga, yes.
That one. That word is appropriate for this one.
Love it.
And 15 minutes later or so, Saori Takarada, part of the Rising Sun connection for Japan, made it 2-0 to Leicester. Then Yuka Mamiki missed a penalty as well. No, she didn't. She missed a penalty in the second half. Firstly, Shana Shosanotti made it 3-0 at half-time. Although, interestingly, on the game sheet, she is listed with her... She's one of the few players listed with her full name. So her full name is Shana Sukane and Natalie Shosanotti. So there you go.
Oh.
It's like when your parents tell you off, they full name.
Yeah.
She probably... Yeah, but if with a name that long, they'd have forgotten what you'd done by the time they got to it. So, 3-0 to Leicester at half-time, and they were absolutely cruising. And then in a classic game of two halves situation, Brighton came back, and still for most of the game it was 3-0, and then two late goals. Madison Haley after 73 minutes, and then Frank Kirby with a penalty after 81, made life really interesting for Leicester, but they managed to hold on at home. And there were some really interesting stats that fully indicate Amandine Mikel's style of play and may give a clue of how she's brought in Leicester's style of play to hit on the break. 15 shots each, 6 shots and 7 shots on target. And then we get to possession. 29% for Leicester and 71% for Brighton. And Brighton had nearly 3 times as many passes as Leicester did. So it's one of those things where Amandine Mikel has taken a while to bring in her playing style, or maybe Leicester have taken a bit of time to adjust, or they haven't perhaps had the players to fully implement it. But now, the counterpunch style of play, where we'll let the other team have the ball, soak up the pressure, and then have the confidence in ourselves when we break, we can finish.
Can do it, yeah.
Is really starting to work. And the question now, I suppose, is if Leicester can ease away, they're probably safe now, realistically.
Oh, let's have a look. 15. Yeah, I think a couple more for them to be happy. But yeah.
I think one more win, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, not too much more. Have you seen how Villa and Ballas are doing at the minute? But yes. Yeah, I think one more to be good, one more to be happy.
But certainly, and next week playing the team directly above them in Spurs as well, and Spurs are just in absolute freefall at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about Spurs were awful last weekend. Like, just, you know, there's no other really word for it. And
no, there's just, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It seems like as soon as Beth England's not there, then it's just fallen apart, and it shouldn't rely on one player at all. So, yeah, I don't know if that's a confidence thing or what,
but Leicester pulling away. I mean, like you say, like Nick says, Brighton are doing great off the pitch because they're announcing plans for purpose-built women's football stadium and all sorts of things.
yes,
And academies as well.
yeah, which is a great shout. Yeah,
but after they seem to be a team who start the season really well and then just kind of fade away because they've had a wobble the past few weeks. You know, back in January, we were talking about Dario Vidicic for Manager of the Year and all sorts of stuff, and now they haven't really hit anything. Whereas Everton, I saw a stat the other day, again, any excuse to praise Brian Sorensen.
of course.
Since their first 6 games, Everton have obtained 17 points, which would make them a top 4 team. If you remove the previous 6 games, they're on top 4 form.
Just shows you.
Go on, Brian.
I mean, that as a stat is just insane, isn't it, for what it is? Because then you look again at where Everton are, and 7th, 19 points. Yeah, they were fighting at the bottom, weren't they? They were still scrapping at the beginning. So it just shows you, for clubs that are watching and listening, look what investment does. Look what funding does. Look what, giving your women's teams what they need.
I love how everyone is in there with the Everton put straight away. You can spot the Liverpool fan in the chat straight away with 3 of them they didn't deserve. Is that a Merseyside derby? Possibly. But not that we're still a little bit bitter about the Merseyside derby or anything. And 4-0 as well.
4-0.
Oh, 4-0.
Yeah, they've probably been going for it still. You kind of expected them to shut up shop a little bit at 3, but they've gone and got a 4th.
They're going for it, yeah.
Is it a hat-trick?
You can
Is
tell.
Or was,
I think
no,
was that a Russo
it is.
special?
Yes, it was. It was a hattie. Hattie for Russo. Lovely.
I did have to laugh before because someone went into Russo's shoulder on the last corner.
Yes.
And the camera just zoomed in and she went, oh,
yes.
fuck.
Yeah, I thought that looked worse than it did. I thought that she was in a bit of trouble there. But...
Yeah, but she's fine. She's good.
There will be discourse about Leslie Russo swearing on camera. You watch. She's a role model. She can't be doing things like that.
She's an adult. She can do what she wants.
Someone give Jill Scott a ring quick.
Yeah.
Jill Scott's allowed to because she's Northern, though. It's like that wasn't a dig at Northern people. That's genuinely this weird thing where, like,
it just sounds nicer coming out of our mouths, and not as threatening.
and not as threatening.
I'm not sure the German players would have agreed with you on that.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Jill Scott's like 10 foot tall, though, so that probably didn't help the situation. As she's getting up from the floor, like ready for a fight.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a night out in Newcastle on a fight? Like,
that's true. Yeah.
The men aren't the scary ones. Like
no. No,
I still count that Jill Scott moment as one of English football's finest moments. Just that one. Just that moment. So.
No,
heritage,
it is.
as the kids say.
Oh, it's disallowed.
They've disallowed it. VAR offside. I mean, she wasn't. It was tight. But I don't know.
Oh, VAR says she was.
Wow. Well.
Game on again.
Well.
What does fascinate
so
me?
back to 3-2 in aggregate then. Mornham's come off. Leovalti has come on.
Mead's come on as well.
We shall see.
I notice how everyone's catching Emily up in the chat, but they didn't mention the old Kelly gags.
They didn't.
Nobody mentioned that.
Oh, Chloe Kelly's gone off as well. It looks like Beth Mead is going to come on too. There we go. Yeah, Beth Mead coming on for Chloe Kelly.
She looks just inside to me, apparently.
Onside.
Oh, dear, title off.
The jokes. All of the... Yeah, no. Right, let's keep going.
50 Shades of Red and White. Bloody hell. Yes.
No, we won't. We're going to keep it light. for all of the families watching. That's
Yes, all those parents with their kids curled up in front of the log fire. We
Speaking of
apologise.
PTs,
around children. The football bedtime
Freya's
story.
Northern, it's okay.
speaking of teams who are no, sorry.
No. Right, Danny, quick, back to you. This was West Ham 2, Spurs 0. As we've already kind of mentioned, Spurs just didn't really do anything. But
No.
West Ham, again, showing that they can put in a performance. It's just not consistent. So, yeah, talk us to this one, please.
Yeah, I will do. Thank you for that. So West Ham have gone above. Lovely. I mean, yeah, firstly, Tottenham, I worry about our Bobby Vills. Like Paul said, they're in absolute free fall at the minute. I think that's 5 defeats in a row in the league now for them. They're not good for them at all. But West Ham looking really good. Look like they're safe now. Gone above Spurs in the table. Josephine Rybrinck. Have you given me all the own goals tonight, by the way? Am I Danny Baker tonight? Yeah, Rybrinck with an own goal to give them the lead. Really good work from Henshaw, down the left-hand side for that one. And Spurs they're just lacking that quality in the final third. Obviously, without Beth England there to hold the ball up and doing all the work that she does, you can't rely on that. And I think this is a steep kind of learning curve for them and Bobby Vills, that they can't just keep relying on Beth England to do the job. And they look really, really ordinary when they lose that kind of ability to go forward and to power forward and do all the things and play with freedom like we were seeing a little bit last season. They look really, really ordinary, and West Ham made them look it. But fair play to West Ham, they have come and done a really good job in this one. Samanen hit the bar before half time. Gorry had a shot well saved. Martha Thomas then hit the post, and you did get the feeling that Spurs were just being so wasteful in front of goal. Hit the post, it's close, but they weren't making the most of their opportunities going forwards. And you did get the feeling that they were going to pay for it. And in stoppage time, Viviana Asai, back from injury, she sealed it with one of those free kicks from the side of the pitch that goes curls and it just beats everyone. No one gets a touch in it. It sort of nestles in the corner. Probably didn't mean it, but it's gone in all the same. But yeah, Spurs more possession in this game. If we bring up the stats, 62% possession. They just didn't do anything with it really. West Ham, convincing, really good performance from them, really professional performance, and that's a 5th home win of the season for West Ham, and that's a new club record apparently as well for them. So well done to them. That's them safe. Probably a bit of a sign of patience as well from them in terms of the management team. Starting to move in the right direction. They could still finish in the top half as well. They got a couple of points off it. So well done to West Ham, but Tottenham looking very, very concerning for them, I think, at the moment. They're kind of drifting, aren't they? And towards the end of the season. No one wants to drift, really, do they? Oh.
Unless you're a Need for Speed game, in which drifting gets you points.
Or you're eating a drifter.
Wow. Are they still a thing?
You must be able to get them from some sort of vintage
sweet shop.
Vintage sweet shop.
Yeah. I'll have a 50p mix up and a drifter. Thanks very much. Now, the
50p what?
50p mix up.
50. Oh, like the penny sweets kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
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 Did you just get loads of sweets all
loads
mixed
of
together?
Like different bits in a bag for 50 pence.
Different bits in the bag for 50p. Yeah. We've got them in Northampton, but I think it's something a bit different. Yeah.
There you go.
Pick a mix. Yeah, pick a mix somewhere.
Yeah, kind of, but you don't. So
you don't choose it. You don't choose what it is. Is that what it is?
Oh, you can. Oh, no, you can't.
No, you can. So there was a little sweet shop where I'm from, and he had all like the jars of everything, and he would go, right, I've got 50p. Can I have a bit of that, a bit of that, and a bit of that? And he'd do the maths, and he'd give you like 50p's worth of stuff. Yeah,
nice.
It was good.
There used to be. This is a completely different thing. It's not something I can talk too deeply about. But there used to be a lady in Northampton town centre called 50p Lil. So that's one for everyone to Google afterwards.
I'm gathering it's not the same thing.
That was a really dirty laugh I just came up with. Sorry, that was.
There are children present, Danny.
Exactly. That's why I said Google it afterwards, so that we didn't talk about it now.
Right, Google. Everyone's now waiting. I love the fact I put 50p in, and the first thing that comes up is 50p nil Northampton.
Oh no, Toby, don't listen. Don't listen.
Oh, wow.
I do have to laugh because if no one knew the context and just saw Chris's message go, "Oh, baby." We love you too. Tony has just said though, Martha Thomas hasn't scored a goal since the FA Cup semi-final against Leicester last year. Oof. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. Arsenal with yet another corner. Nope, straight into the hands of Misa. Never mind. 79th minute. Still got time to get another one in. Okay. So let's go back to how do we even want to talk about mine? Have I got the only one left?
You can race through it very quickly and just go, yeah, Man United won 4-0. It was boring.
It was the worst game in the world. I don't know who'd watch it.
He got booed by his own fans.
I mean, that's just every game, isn't it? Yeah, go on then. Let's talk about it. So this was Aston Villa 0, United 4. Really poor half from Villa. And unfortunately, as soon as the goals started going in, heads went down, just gaps everywhere. Awful. So yeah, it was 3-0 at halftime, and I just thought, what's the onslaught going to be like? So the first goal came just after the 20th minute. It was Celine Bizet, of course, allowed loads of space to run down the right-hand side, cross into the box for Elizabeth Turland, who unfortunately is back on her goal-scoring streak, and nestled it into the back of the net for 1-0. Turland's second of the match, of course, came about 10 minutes later. Again, from a poor Villa clearance, couldn't get it out far enough, intercepted by Jade Riviere straight away, pretty much. Sent the ball back into the box, and Turland easily converted again. This time through a header. D'Angelo did stretch, but the shot just sailed completely past her. The third goal, however, was a bit of controversy because Grace Clinton pulled Jill Byings by the shirt to the point where Byings then fell to the ground. Happened right in front of the ref, who was everyone's favourite referee. Happened right in front of her. She didn't blow for a foul. So Jill is still like on her knees with her hands up, like, what? How did you not do that? Of course, by the time she's done that, Grace Clinton's got the ball in the back of the net. So it goes back to the whole don't stop playing until the whistle goes, annoyingly. So that one, should it have stood? Probably not. She was asked about it afterwards, and she essentially said, yeah, I did pull a shirt, and what? So yes, that was fun. So that was 3 now.
It's like Grace Clinton and think she's a fraud. But there we are.
Just got to get that in there. Just got to get that in.
No, she's a fantastic player, but I can't. You know, there are some players who you can accept are great players and can see the ability of, but just can never really like as players.
No.
For whatever reason.
And the reason now is because of shirt grabbing. So there we go. Matthew's just gone. Freya's match report to summarise in 4 words. Aston Villa are rubbish. The first half was rubbish. There are some good bits at the end. Before I forget, attendance 22,517 tonight. Not bad for a Wednesday night at all. Then the second half comes round as it does usually in a match. Second half. Villa did come out with a bit more fight about them, came close to getting one back through Jordan Nobbs, but her strike went just wide. United weren't finished, however, of course, because in the 64th minute, it was substitute Melvin Malar was allowed to put a cross into the box for Leah Galton, who put it in the roof of the net, took a slight deflection off Lucy Parker, annoyingly. But yeah, it was going in anyway for 4-0. I will say, though, Villa's substitutes, Marta Pacheco came on. She's always fantastic. But it got to the point where our biggest attacking threats of the game were Lucy Parker, Marta Pacheco. And you just think, if your defenders are doing most of the attacking work, something's going wrong somewhere. But they have... They played golf together today as a team. So hopefully more bonding there and hopefully that unity. Now Lucy Staniforth's back. Again, great to see her back on the pitch after injury. So, yeah, I think they've needed a leader like Lucy Staniforth to really come back and just kind of get them together because there's something not right. Natalia Arroyo's come out and said that she's just as scared as the players are and that they're very worried indeed. And again, they're only 1 point ahead of Crystal Palace and only have 10 points. And you just think at this point of the season, I mean, we've talked about Leicester City being safe on 15. Yeah, it's usually about 15, isn't it, to get your safety? So, yeah, it's not looking good at all. And, of course, they're away to Liverpool this weekend.
Palace at Arsenal as well, aren't they?
I know.
Yeah. So, can I point out, by the way, that fan bases of certain teams who haven't had to actually worry about relegation were very amused by Natalia Arroyo actually admitting relegation was a possibility, and why would you do that as a manager and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
as a Villa fan, you and obviously Emma in the chat as well. What are your thoughts about it?
About what? Arroyo
about
coming
her
out saying,
yes, actually, we are worried about relegation.
We don't like it. Hang on.
Well, I was going to say Toby definitely doesn't like it.
We have a reprieve. Hang on. She started to cry when she doesn't like being in a certain situation. It's just, the princessdom is starting, isn't it? I really like how honest she is because you don't want a manager that's going to sit there and go, yeah, we're fine. It's like, but we're not. Like, what are you doing? So the fact that she's acknowledging there is danger and that she said that she's worried. Because I know a lot of people, I think, like you said, have gone, oh, what do you mean she's scared? If she's scared, get rid of her. Like, she's not the manager. No. It's good. It's good that she's coming out and being so honest because the last thing we want, as Emma's rightly said, oh, that's brilliant. She's not living in dreamland. And that's it. They need to be scared. They need to be worried because if they're not, then Crystal Palace are going to go above you and you are going to get relegated. So yeah, I like how honest she is, to be honest. I think it's going to come down to these last few fixtures. Neither Villa nor Palace have got easy games. Both of them have got quite hard games. Crystal Palace probably have arguably the harder ones left. We've still got to go away to Spurs. And I think at the minute, the way Spurs are playing, maybe there's an opportunity there. But yeah, as Chris rightly says, very concerned with Villa at the minute. Yeah.
I do like Emily's point as well. I think Emily hits the nail on the head with how the relegation battle could be based on who drops the least points.
Yes.
Rather than who picks up the most. And
that's the sad thing about how it turned out. The fact that we're not only relying on someone else, but exactly as Emily said, relying on who actually loses the best.
I also love the fact that we have a chat where randomly as well, in amongst all this football chat, Nick's just like, oh yeah, drifter bars were discontinued in 2008. Like
after a brief reprieve in 2008.
Yes.
Hey, we're bringing you the good stuff here on this podcast.
It's always appreciated, though. It sounded like I was mocking it, but it's always appreciated.
Oh, always appreciated, always. Just a little update then. 87 minutes. Arsenal are still leading on aggregate. Russo and Ford have just tried to work together for another goal, but unfortunately it wasn't powerful enough to get past Misa. So there we go. Still
that 35-yarder from Caro Weir, though, going the other way.
They haven't looked like they've been in it at all, Real, have they? It's been all Arsenal. It's been non-stop.
Oh, Real. Real. So yeah, you can tell Arsenal want it, and I think again that's what we want to see. We want an English club proper
That's
going
4-0.
for it.
There we go.
4-0.
That's
Great.
the tie then.
Well, why is this lying to me and telling me that it's live when it's clearly not?
Oh,
is that Russo
It's
again?
offside again. There you go.
Russo, there we go. Oh, it's offside again.
Do you know what? Now I'm more and more hope Real Madrid get one,
Oh.
because imagine the reactions from the worst sections of Arsenal fan Twitter. If
Who does
Russo's had 2 goals.
Does Russo think she's Black Stenius tonight? Is that what this is?
it must have been tight though. It's not looking like...
Oh, that's not offside.
No, I don't know if it is. I
No.
don't think it is.
Imagine if
There's a hand out that I don't think that is.
Out of curiosity, if Real should score,
that? Are they checking it?
will it go to extra time?
No. They must have checked it, must they?
How have they not checked that?
That looked very tight.
That was very, very tight.
Vicious, that is.
That should have been checked. That was awful.
No, it's not checking. It's gone. The moment's gone.
Yeah, no, they're still going.
If Real do find a goal, will that go to extra time, or do we
Yes.
have away goals rules, or are they only for people older than a certain age?
Extra time, I believe.
I think it goes, yeah, extra time.
It looks like it's just extra time.
Yeah, Tony thinks that too. Yeah, extra time. Yeah, there we go. Right
I
then.
feel like it's coming, don't you now?
No, we'll not jinx it. We'll no commentators curse here. So before we move on to the championship, then we'll just quickly run through this weekend's fixtures. We've got Man United versus Everton. That should be a good one. Hopefully Everton get the points.
Go on, Bri. You can do it.
Come on, Bri. Stormer coming on. Emma, come on. Stinks. I mean, really. And just
Is Stoma coming on to plug a leak?
Okay. Say bye-bye.
See, even Toby thought that one was funny.
We got a little laugh. We got a little laugh through. Oh, look, the fourth official board's working again. Yay. It's a break for those who haven't been watching.
6 minutes injury time. There you go. Still time for that 96th minute.
Paul, pack it in.
Pack what in?
We won. Arsenal.
They've not been sort of throwing anything at it. It's weird. Like, you'd expect it at 3-2. You'd expect them to be taking a few chances and stuff. They just haven't been doing.
Just haven't. Stats: Real Madrid have had 1 shot, and that's it.
Going in.
Arsenal have had 16. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So where was I? Yeah. Brighton, Manchester City, Crystal Palace, Arsenal. Again, Arsenal, if you just get loads past Palace, that'd be great. Leicester versus Spurs, Liverpool versus Villa, and Chelsea versus West Ham. Yeah, but it's an English club. We want more English clubs to get further in this competition. That's what I want.
Tony's Swedish. So...
Okay, but that's what I want. I'm English. That's what I'm saying. We as the royal we of the podcast. Feel free to argue with me, as Tony rightly has. And that's fine. You're allowed your prerogative. It's all good. Right then, shall we talk some championship? Best league in the world. There we go. Right. So, quite a few draws this weekend, which was quite nice.
Can we very quickly big up Little Rock Rangers, the USL pod team, who beat Birmingham Legion in the US Open Cup last Thursday. And they're through to the next round in their first game of the season.
Go on, Little Rock.
So, go on, Little Rock. Zach, if you're still around in the podcast, you might not be because the season started, but go Little Rock. There you go.
Go Little Rock. Yes, good. And I will take that off of my list of things to talk about when we get onto American football.
Sorry. Fell awkward. Sorry. Look at his face as well. That's a running order. Sorry.
We need to. Has the wheel been teased yet? By the way, I assume it has.
No, just
no.
There's a wheel coming, everyone. Stay tuned.
Wheel. Yeah.
There's a great pun for it as well. I've already got a punny name for it.
Oh, have you? Right. Well, don't tell anyone. Graham says, Paul, away goals were removed in 2021.
Were they? Away goals been removed, but for who?
For Gareth Taylor. Emily's saying Liverpool 4, Aston Villa 0. No, Emily, that's not. No. No. That's not what we're thinking. It's going to be a draw. We're going to pick up a point. If Liverpool just don't show up, in fact, like the forfeit, that'd be great. That would be perfect. Matthew said it's going to be really good. Yes. Well done. Yes. Yes, it is indeed.
Round of applause.
A round of applause indeed. Oh no, Madrid have got a corner.
Uh-oh.
It's going. It's happening. It'll happen live.
Also, we're getting excited. Right. You are only allowed the opinions that I agree with on this podcast. No. Hey, if they do...
They've left it too late to have a go at this, I think.
They have. 90 plus 3. Oh,
There's
no, going back the other way. Mariona through to the middle. Could there be another one? Nope. Oh, they've won it back. Oh, they've won it back again. Oh. Someone's running. Is it Caitlin Ford?
Someone's running.
Someone's running. Is it Caitlin Ford?
Someone's running. Oh, yeah, she's through. Is she? No.
And you know how I knew it was Caitlin Ford? Because she does this.
Yeah.
When she runs.
Ford misses an open foul.
Horse football. It's just.
I hope it's not falls on the pitch. Someone's running, Chris. But who? Oh God, that was perfect. Right, about a minute and a half left of extra time. Can Madrid do something? Can they not? We'll find out. Stick around to find out. I don't know why Tony hates me so much. Imagine Liverpool Villa is 0-0, then Sam Kerr scores a goal deep in injury time. Then we just won't have any injury time. Then that's it. That's how this works. Just horsing around too much. Right. No. No. Right. Back to the championship then, where I believe I was trying to say we had quite a few draws this week. First one, of course, being incredible. Danny, we'll come to you first. Southampton 0, Portsmouth 0. Portsmouth, just this completely new side having a resurgence. Talk us through this one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, South Coast Derby, always fun and games. You look at it 0-0 and you think, oh, boring game, but it really wasn't. It was exciting. End-to-end stuff going on here. Portsmouth with the first shot and goal of the game. Emma Jones went in behind the defence, but her shot was straight at Fran Stenson. They went in on goal for a second time. Megan Hornby was about to pull the trigger, but she had the ball nicked off her feet. Southampton came close through Georgia Mullet. Is she on loan from Villa? Is that right?
Georgia Mullet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's found a bit of space at the edge of the box, but she hit a shot wide. Megan Hornby again at the other end. She's really started to come into her own again at Portsmouth now. Hornby, I thought she would at the start of the season. Arsenal 3, by the way. She tried her luck with a dipping effort from a dipper from range of Pompey. Molly Pike had a chance for Southampton, but she couldn't really connect properly to a through ball. So, yeah, it was going end-to-end stuff. Stenson made a good save, tipping the ball over the bar from another Jones shot. Rachel Rowe came close to finishing from a corner, but her header was cleared off the goal line in a bit of a penalty. We all like a penalty area scramble, don't we? And then Rowe went close again with another shooting opportunity. She got past 2 defenders and hit a powerful shot against the hands of Hannah Poulter from just inside the area. And then a controversial moment late on. Mullet broke through on goal and finished really well into the bottom corner, but her run was flagged for offside. I'm not sure it was. No. It's offside. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was very, very close at best. So that was a bit of a controversial moment. And then a chance really late in the game for Sophie Quirk for Pompey. Got some space inside the area, 1-on-1 from 6 yards out, but Stenson made the really, really important block coming off her line, spreading her arms wide and diverted the shot away. Could have gone either way. This one really entertaining derby. Full-blooded as you can expect, but a point apiece. But probably, I'd say definitely actually a more important and better point for Pompey than it was for Southampton, because we've seen a lot from Pompey the last couple of weeks. They're really starting to claw themselves away from that bottom place, and really, really good result for them in the end.
No, 100%. Graham's with there. Mullet was a hair's width offside.
She was.
It's just
form today.
Georgia Mullet, though, I'm really proud that she's kind of gone alone and she is starting and she's showing what she's capable of. And also she's been called up to the under-23s for the first time.
Yeah.
Rather than under-19s. Massive shout out for Georgia Mullet there. So yeah, I mean, if we look, I mean, this table a couple of weeks ago looked nothing like this. Portsmouth in 9th on 9 points. And again, those three at the bottom.
A little bit like this because the same teams won it. But
I'm going to go to bed. Leave me alone.
Pompey jumping off the bottom.
You know, expressions you can hear then. I was looking ahead for the games that I'm talking about to double check them, and I could still hear Freya's expression when you said that.
But no, well done, Pompey.
Yeah.
Play up Pompey.
Play up Pompey, indeed.
I think the fact that they went into this game looking to win it as well shows a little bit of how far they've come, because they've gone to Southampton. They've not shut up shop and kind of ground it out. They've gone really looking for the win, and they've almost got it. And fair play to them. They're doing everything they can to stay up. And Sheffield United route to the bottom at the minute.
Oh, route to the bottom.
No longer anchored to the bottom. Yeah, very good, Matthew. Enjoyed that.
Did anyone see, by the way, once again, Emma just desperately trying to provoke us after earlier with Mariana shooting right down the keeper's throat?
I mean, I was going to ignore it, but thank you.
You should know.
Thank you for bringing the tone right back down to the gutter.
You should know I will never ignore an innuendo.
Yeah, we know.
If you ever want an innuendo, I'll give you one.
Oh. And Emily Wright says, "You don't need this kind of insolence, do you, Freya?" No, I don't. That's what happens.
I'm 40 years old, by the way, everybody.
Never grow up, kids. Never
Mind
grow
you, a
up.
12-year-old. Never grow up.
Never grow up, indeed. However, Paul, we will come to you next because a massive point for Blackburn against Bristol City, 1-1. Talk to us about this one, please.
Yeah, well, this is one again. Blackburn have kind of needed this because they've quietly been slipping into that relegation battle, never quite managed to pull away. One of the early games on Saturday, which was, weird to see it happen. And by the way, their goal from Tyler Toland, absolute belter, at Ewood Park. And the game itself was, again, one of those ridiculous things, again, where a team soaked up pressure to get a point. Blackburn had 3 shots. Bristol City had 14, for example. 39% possession for the home side, 61% for Bristol City. But they couldn't do anything with it. And this was the thing. They had 14 shots. Barely half of them were on target. They never really tested Alex Brooks, who is a very, very good goalie, by the way. For those who don't watch the Championship regularly, she is incredibly underrated and has been for several years. And it's kind of surprising she hasn't moved on to bigger pastures. But at the same time, women's football is strange because there's a lot. And there is another player we will talk about very, very shortly, hopefully, who set a women's goal scoring record, who I'm sure Danny will be overjoyed to mention a little bit later on. But Alex Brooks is one of those players who probably could. It's kind of surprising bigger teams haven't come in for her, but she looks really comfortable where she was. And once again, she was key for Blackburn Rovers in this game against Bristol City. She was eventually beaten, though, by Fionn Morgan in the 66th minute. And Fionn Morgan makes a habit of scoring, nice goals and crucial goals. But apart from that, again, it was one of those games with two teams. It didn't feel like either team had much to play for. Blackburn obviously still down there and trying to keep out of that battle at the bottom. And whereas Bristol City, a chance of promotion has well and truly gone. I think we agreed last week. So they're kind of playing out the string. and playing for pride. But Blackburn, again, didn't really take advantage of it. And still, those three teams down at the bottom, you'd have thought a game like that, Blackburn would have wanted to. But maybe there's a bit of complacency from Blackburn because they've got effectively 6 points potentially in their back pocket with those two games in hand.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. Those and Newcastle, remember, have still got some games in hand as well. Also some of those. So yeah, it's a shame that Blackburn couldn't do more with it. Because like you said, so Bristol, are in 5th, 10 points behind Birmingham. So yeah, that's kind of gone, that dream now. But you'd think they'd still be fighting because, again, there's not much in that following group, is it? So yeah, it was a shame. It really, really was. They couldn't do more with it. But yeah, thank you for that one. Right, Graham, are you ready, mate? I will apologise. I've just realised I've missed an N out of Birmingham, so it's Birmingham, Birmingham City.
To be fair, that's pretty much the way locals say it. Birmingham.
Yeah.
Was Emma typing these results up for us?
Yes, she was.
Excellent.
It would have been something vaguely sexual if he was typing them up with the way it's been tonight.
Yeah, that's true. I do have to say, though, Tony, you're on it tonight, and yet, Freya, how bad would it be if Birmingham go up and Villa go down? I need to put something in this. The amount of stick I'm getting.
Freya, what would happen if your house just fell down right now?
And you were on fire. Yes. And everything was exploding.
What would happen if every fear of yours came true at once, and the world came to a singularity, and the dark embrace of death came round across everybody? Like it's that level of just let's find the worst possible things over and over again.
What would happen if Mark Skinner knocked on your door right now, holding, wearing just a carrot?
What?
Go on. The first thing I thought of.
Honestly.
No, because now I'm just thinking of Olaf from Frozen.
Well, he's a dickhead, so.
Olaf or Skinner?
Can I just point out? Chris A-level pun game from Chris there, with the visual joke, with Run to the Hills.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. See, very again, nice. Kate Bush, Run Up That Hill. That's all I was thinking. Oh, no, he's done it on purpose, everyone. That's for the comment if we want more English teams to progress. But we on the pod, that's... Yeah, but that's your fault. That's not my problem.
I love how Graham says, Danny, your mind worries me at times.
Worries me plenty of times. I've got
really?
I've got to cut out of Phil Neville's head next to me. My mind makes
look at the haunted expression in his eyes just then. just it was that I've got to cut out of Phil Neville's head next to me.
Yeah.
It's just the realization.
Yeah. My mind makes lots of noises.
And sometimes they come out of my mouth.
Which Phil are we today?
We hear voices in our head. They talk to us. They understand. There we go. Back to wrestling as well.
Everything else comes back to wrestling, doesn't it? Now, I was meant to talk about Charlton 1, Birmingham 1.
Football.
This one... Graham, I really appreciated that he was tweeting me through this match, which helped me greatly. And in the words of Graham, Charlton thoroughly deserved the point. All us in the second half. They were hanging on at the end, ran out of steam about Birmingham. And he was right, to be honest. So let's have a look at it, shall we? So Okay, it was a dramatic late equaliser from Charlton Athletic, which saw Birmingham City's lead at the top of the table reduced to a single point. Because London City, which we'll talk about in a minute, of course, getting their win. So 1 point, that's all it is at the top. In the first half, Birmingham did dominate. They had 2 shots on target before finally breaking the deadlock in the 14th minute. Charlton had attempted to play out from the back, but Shoyu Ri was able to intercept the ball and drive through the midfield. Slipped the ball through to Lee Gyu-min, just inside the area, who clinically put the ball past Whitehouse for 1-0. Charlton only had 1 single chance, and I know that Graham spoke to me about this one as well. It was through Jodie Hutton, but Adriana Franch, of course, new signing for Birmingham City, was in goal, and she was able to punch it away. And ideally, Hutton should have maybe done a little bit better to put it away for the equaliser, but alas, it was not to be. Second half, Birmingham continued to dominate, but they just weren't clinical enough to put any more of their chances into the back of the net. As the clock ticked down, another Birmingham free kick was wasted, and it was down to Charlton to have a moment of magic that would change the game forever. On the counter, it was substitute Cyber who took a chance and dispossessed Harrison Murray as she slipped, unfortunately. Driving forward, Cyber was able to make it all of the way onto the edge of Birmingham's box before passing to Mel Phillips, shout out Mel Phillips, who took her chance in front of goal. The shot took a slight deflection from Franch's outstretched glove and into the back of the net in the first minute of stoppage time for the equaliser. In the final minutes, though, both teams clearly wanted that win. It became really frantic. Charlton did come the closest, however, to taking all the points. Jodie Hutton, again, her free kick on the edge of the box forced Franch into a diving save. And after 9 minutes of added time, the game ended 1-1. So, yeah, it literally could have been anyone's at the end, but Birmingham should have put away their chances at the beginning for those 3 points. And hey, here we go. Got Graham himself. They started better, really pressed us well, and gave us no time on the ball. Sloppy goal from us to concede. Cyber was outstanding, won the header, won the ball, ran 70 yards, and then set up Malphilus to score. Yes, 100%. And as Matthew rightly said, Birmingham don't play this weekend. If London City win away at Newcastle, they go top. If Birmingham don't go up because they drew against Charlton, can we blame Graham? Because no one wants London City in the WSL. Looks like Birmingham having a 3-week break. They next play on the 20th of April. So nearly a month until their next game. And last word from Graham on this. Shout out to Ellie Brazil too. Yes, she ran herself into the ground for all 99 minutes. Yeah, Ellie Brazil. We've talked about it before, haven't we? What a fantastic player that she is. But yeah, a really important point for Charlton and an important point for Birmingham that they needed to just keep that lead at the top of the table. Right then. Danny, will come back to you. Speaking of London City, unfortunately, a very convincing 4-0 over Sheffield, who look like they might be in some trouble.
Yes.
So yeah, talk us through this, please.
Yes, Kang. She is leading the race now, isn't she? To go up. I feel like they're in pole position now. Kang FC, as we'll call them. But Sheffield United, loads of injury problems coming into this. Ella Kinsert, Maddie Earle, Annie Wilding, Molly Graham all out. Izzy Hobson serving suspension. Connie Schofield was ineligible to face London City, her parent club. So they had loads of players out, which doesn't help. But they were just completely overrun in this game. Maria Perez had an early chance, inside the first 5 minutes. She was denied by a good save. Denied. She was denied by a good save by Sharon Rogers. But they did take the lead. Really nice long range effort from Chantal Boyd-Lorca. I think she's been one of the star players this season for them. Flying past Rogers into the corner. Maria Ferrugia skipped past the defender and was denied in Sheffield United's best chance. But then as soon as London City got the second goal, they were pretty much done for. And when you see Sophia Jacobson and Aslani combining for a goal in the middle of a park, but it seems such a weird thing to me still. Aslani is sliding in, and there's just the combination of those two players scoring there it's still
doesn't
baffling.
make sense, does it?
It doesn't make any sense. I can't process it. But yeah, so that was 2-0. Grace Neville then did an unintentional floaty L from Grace Neville. UFL, should we call that? An unintentional floaty L?
You thought it was unintentional as well? Because
yeah, I didn't think that was an intentional.
The championship Twitter were trying to claim that she meant it, and I was like, no, she's mishit that.
No, Georgia Bruffham then did score, I think, an intentional floaty L. That was that was definitely intentional, that one, for 4-0. Yeah, dominant performance from Kang, from Shidi Kang, as they are plenty of progression. 12 shots on goal to 0 for Sheffield United, 7 shots on goal to 0 for Sheffield United. Completely dominant all over the pitch for London City, and they've got a game in hand on Birmingham now. They're 1 point behind them. So they're in the pole position. Yeah, like I said earlier, if they go to Newcastle and win at the weekend, they're top of the league, and that's not what anyone wants to see, is it? So
can I just point out the chat, Matt, coming up with calling that game El Clasico?
I was up. Yes, El Clasico, as it shall be known. London City versus Newcastle. Much more polite than what Tony called it a few messages above. But yeah, no, it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be another final day decider, isn't it? Like, yeah. I can't see any of them losing that much now. But final last words. But touch wood, and hopefully not. Matthew's even singing us a song in the comments as well.
Because they're playing each other on the last day, aren't they, at Birmingham? Birmingham against London City. This could be very interesting.
Wouldn't it be lovely if Birmingham denied them on the last day? So they spent all that money and got denied on the last day.
Yeah, it would. And it'd be even better if Villa stayed up as well on that last day. That would be great. So Birmingham can get promoted because I think they deserve it. And then Villa can also stay up. So then we'll finally get a Birmingham derby. Yay. But yeah, no, Kang's face on the last day as the trophy goes to someone else. will be good. In fact,
is about to get murdered somewhere.
Well, that'll be the other half of there'll be Brian Sorensen and it's hunting season at one end. And then Kang's, like, as she turns on the pitch, like, I'll be back. On the other.
Oh, that's the ultimate sort of baby face versus heel, isn't it? Or Brian against Kang next season. That's good versus evil in all its form.
Yes. Oh, I mean, we don't want it to happen, but also we'll leave it there. That's fine.
If they were town in Yorkshire, it'd be Hesselmania. Sorry. I was just like, they'd have to move it to like London City play in a field in London. They'd have to play like a field in Yorkshire. Just call it. Yeah.
Just moving fields around the country. Graham, I agree. Birmingham Palace down, assuming we don't do a miracle last 3 games. Yeah. I can't have Palace being promoted 1 year and what was Millwall being promoted the next season, both of our expense. I refuse to allow it. Yeah, Graham, keep shouting it. Keep shouting it louder, mate. That's what we need. And we've got one final game to talk about, which again, I don't know why I do this to myself, really. But this was another Tyne-Wear derby, and unfortunately, it was Newcastle who got the win for the very first derby at St James's Park. So there we go. I will say, though, shout out to everyone in the Northeast who did go. It was a record-breaking attendances. 38,502 people were at St James's Park to watch the derby and broke the previous record of just over 15,000, which was set at the reverse fixture at the Stadium of Light. So there we go. I will say that before I talk to you about the game, the stream was horrendous and kept freezing every couple of minutes. So we're getting these type of crowds. People want to watch the championship, so it needs to get better, please and thank you. Because I'm sure Sky, when they signed the rights, they had a couple of championship games that they could show. So they should be doing it. Sunderland, however, I can't really defend them. It wasn't their best. it wasn't their best game. But it was a game of substitutes that made all the difference. With Shania Hales, of course, who came off the bench to score the decider in the 77th minute. Beth Lumsden, however, as she's done plenty of times this season, came very close indeed for the opener. Not too long after the first whistle had blown, actually. But Demi Lambourne, again, showing that she's really brought into this role this season, was alert to the danger, pulled off a great save. I think it was with her knee to deny her. Newcastle were the most dominant side. They should have done more. They should have done better to get the ball in the back of the net. There were some nervy goal line clearances from Amy Goddard and everyone else present throughout the match. And that was just the first half. The second half comes along. Katie Kitchen wasn't her best game, but Sunderland's best chance came from her cross that came in for Katie Watson, youngster Katie Watson. Talked about her quite a lot. But unfortunately, her attempt sailed over the crossbar. Unfortunately, what led up to Hales' goal, loose pass, intercepted, bit of a mistake there. And Newcastle were able to just attack on the counter, and Hales puts it in the back of the net. Newcastle had 11 shots compared to Sunderland's 4. So even stats-wise, you could tell Newcastle were going to come out on top. Now, talking a bit to Ant and everyone from How Pod, and they did say despite the goal, Flannery and Stapleton had a really good game. And I don't know if anyone saw this earlier today, though. Sunderland have got a new signing. They've signed Marissa Shiva, Republic of Ireland international, who was a new attacking threat. So hopefully they see out the end of the season and they're able to retain a lot of their key players as well. But as with everyone, hopefully they need to invest. Hopefully the club will give them money to do that because they've done all right this season. But, as we've seen, money can really, really make the difference. So, yeah, unfortunately, wasn't meant to be. Newcastle were very happy with themselves. But yeah, 1-0. 1-0 for that performance I can kind of take for that one. So yeah, just unfortunate it didn't turn out the way that I hoped for that one. Now, let's have a little look then. Coming up this weekend, we've got Blackburn versus Southampton. Again, that could be the decider. Maybe Blackburn getting a few more points there. Durham Portsmouth. Again, can Portsmouth do something, or are Durham just too good this season? Bristol Sheffield, Newcastle London City, Sunderland Charlton. Sorry, Graham. Hopefully Sunderland come back fighting. Girls, have Sunderland underachieved this year, or did they overachieve last year? I wouldn't say either. I think just the year before that, they had a really, really rubbish one. So when they did finish so well last season, it was like, oh, this is quite nice. But yeah, it's just that typical, you finish really well, and then you assume it's going to happen again the next year. And unfortunately, it just hasn't. But I think Sunderland have been unlucky with injuries. They've let people go that maybe they shouldn't have, not really signing anyone, bringing anyone in. So I think it's just a case of money, really. Good question in the chat from Tony. I'll put this out to you two if you don't mind. Do you think Shania Hales would do good in the WSL, or is she a classic example of a championship striker? Has anyone got any thoughts on that one?
She's a championship striker because she came up with Bristol City last season and scored once, if at all, in the WSL, and was prolific for Villa as well in their promotion season, and then kind of disappeared again.
Yeah, I think when you're performing that well at that level, it can sometimes be a bit deceiving, can't it? But no, I mean, she's doing really well in the championship, and I think that's probably where she's best suited for now, anyway. But yeah, I mean, a WSL club could pick her up, see what happens. But as you said, Paul, she's kind of just been there in the past, hasn't she? So yeah, who knows? Who knows indeed. Just catching up with the chat. Graham said, you could end our season on Sunday, just like we ended yours last year. Yeah, cheers. A bit threatening. Okay. Injuries are mounting up. We had 2 more on Sunday. Yeah. Injuries at this part of the season, it just, as soon as someone goes down, isn't it? You're like, no, what is it? What is it? Now, everyone still watching, still in. Welcome to everyone who has joined us since the Champions League finished, by the way. We've had the numbers have shot up since that. So thank you.
Hello, folks.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to the chaos. No, we've mentioned other leagues around the world, and today we're going to have a little look at the NWSL because, Paul, we need to pick you a team.
You do.
Now, we've in the chat, we know our Chloe Bear is a fan of Orlando Pride. Danny, you love the teal of KC Current. And
the football, not just the colour, but yeah.
Well, yeah, the football helps. Yeah. They look pretty when they do it. And of course, I'm a recent San Diego Wave convert because Dree and Kenza now play there. So, of course, Paul, you fancy having a team yourself, don't you?
I wouldn't mind one, yeah, but
yeah.
I thought
if only there was a way to decide how that would.
If only there was a way. In fact, there will be a way. Maybe there is. And what I shall do.
I thought, just for context here, I thought that I could pick a team myself, but it would be far more interesting to let the wheel of fate decide. The wheel of supportune.
The wheel of supportune.
Well
done.
Are we ready? The Ellie wheel. Yes.
Round
Spin
and round it goes. Spin.
Can we see it?
No.
Not yet. There we go.
Yes.
Now we can see. Everyone's going to see. Oh, God.
The wheel.
The logo in the middle of everything.
Hey, I spent
Is
time
there one that you prefer, Paul? Let Phil Neville choose.
Is there one? BFC is just a boring name. So,
yeah. I think, and I hope it lands on Racing Louisville because you really hated their.
Oh God! Don't say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready?
I'm genuinely tense now.
Oh, we're going.
3, 2.
Don't be
BFC. Yes.
What?
It's Racing Louisville.
Outstanding. Oh, brilliant.
I promise you.
I couldn't have written it.
I promise I did not set that up.
Really?
I did not set that up. Oh, that's
have you got the Racing Louisville shirts again? Just so I can. They only bloody lost to BFC last weekend as well.
Yeah. Did I download?
Is
this the one from last week?
Only just missed out on the top 8 last season.
Oh, good.
No,
Do you need Becky in there?
A Racing Louisville with the jockey shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll just get the shirt up one more time, just so everyone knows what Paul will be sporting this season.
Oh.
This is, it's a good time to share the description again, isn't it? Really?
No, it's not.
10% off first order if you go right. There
we go.
There we go.
Go and play pub golf in that.
I cannot believe.
Just for you, Paul. Look at it. Look at the green. Look at the lime green that goes right through it. There you go. $95 for that.
Have I mentioned, Racing Louisville folk, how I would be proud to sport that shirt now? If you wanted to, support, to have an official support the team in the official NWSL rivalry, I will happily be the jockey.
The jockey.
we should just point out, because there is controversy. Actually, yes, Emily, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I does say it should be redone.
No. Because Emily said San Diego Wave was on there. Yes. So Orlando Pride, San Diego Wave, and KC Current were not on there because we've already bagged them.
Yeah, we took.
So this was Paul's opportunity to get a completely new team. So he didn't double up with anyone else. But of course, Paul, you can change, but the wheel will come after you if you do.
Okay. What if the wheels? I'll tell you what. If the wheel spins again, we'll make it tense. If the wheel picks Racing Louisville again, which is perfectly possible, then clearly it's fated.
But what if it doesn't? What happens then?
If the wheel picks someone else, then I get to choose.
I mean, but how do we get best of 3? Because it might give you 3 different ones.
Then
you want me to share my screen again?
Then the chat votes.
Then the chat votes, right?
Okay. I think the referee should have blown the whistle too early for this one.
Right. Okay. So this was the winner from last time. It's removed it. No, don't remove it. Come back.
Oh, if it's removed it.
Oh no, it's the only one on
there. Oh no, come back. No.
Okay, if it's removed it, then it's
absolutely not. Don't you worry.
Can we add a bonus option for extra jeopardy of a dinner with Phil Neville?
Yep. Dinner.
Yeah. Dinner with Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Phil.
Go again.
Oh, please don't.
I reckon Phil likes a bit of tapas.
Likes a bit of tapas.
Oh, Houston Dash.
Dash it.
Houston Dash. Okay.
Oh, geez,
all right, Houston Dash.
Okay. Best of 3. Let's see. So people in the chat, it's either going to be Racing Louisville, Houston Dash, or if it doesn't say Racing Louisville again.
Come on, Utah. Come on. Oh, Spirit. That's good.
All Spirits.
That is good.
There we go. Okay. So people in the chat can vote whether Paul supports Racing Louisville, Washington Spirit, or what was the third one? Houston Dash.
Houston Dash, by the way, Paul, if you don't know, finished bottom of the league last year. I don't want to influence anyone in the chat, but you know.
Well, no, we can't do that.
We wouldn't want Paul supporting the bottom team.
No, never.
Graham, you can't vote for. You don't count as 3 for Racing Louisville.
Yeah, Graham's got 3.
There was a better way to show this. Hang on. Oh, it's just me in the corner. Yay.
Right, Michael.
It's you in the spotlight.
So at the moment, let's have a look. That's not working. Let's just do this. We'll hide our faces for a bit. It's fine. Okay. So at the moment, Orlando Pride and KC Current are right at the top, much to Danny's happiness.
Rightful place.
Yeah. BFC, San Diego Wave, Seattle Reign, all on 4 points. Houston Dash, Washington Spirit on 3, Angel City on 2, and everyone else apart from Chicago Stars, not Red Stars, just Chicago Stars, are on 1 point, with the Stars being on 0 at the bottom. I do just want to shout out Adriana Leon for getting her first goal for San Diego Wave at the weekend, which is what we love to see. And yeah, has anyone voted yet? So we've got Washington
people have
Spirit.
voted.
Oh yeah,
people have definitely voted.
It's just one each. I think we should just go with Graham though, because he put Racing Louisville times 3.
It's clearly not one each.
Yeah, we've got Washington Spirit.
There's Washington Spirit twice.
Spirit.
At least.
Oh, Spirit, right. He's dead.
Oh, that's a late entrance. Who's that?
From this Danny fellow. I don't know who he is. Okay, so as we've come to the conclusion that where's he gone?
Have we?
Hey, there we go. Okay, so Paul, you've seen what the chat wants. You've seen what the wheel wanted. Who are you going to go for?
I'm going to have my heart broken in the summer, I think, because having looked at the 3 teams, the one thing about what Racing Louisville had the jerseys, which obviously are stunning.
Oh, they are. Top of the range.
And if they want to send us a free one, then they're more than welcome.
Mhm.
And then Houston Dash. I want to pick Washington Spirit, but they have a defender wearing number 9. Like that's the most petty reason. Tara McKeown wears number 9 for them, but also, and I also risk having my heart broken because Trinity Rodman, of course, plays for Washington Spirit. So I would.
Troy Bethune as well is phenomenal. She got injured halfway through last season, but she is an excellent player.
Yes, very good.
Do you know what? The tension.
The tension is palpable.
Palpable.
Yeah. You could cut it.
We
with a
will
knife.
go because they are, for the reason that they are probably easiest for me to watch as well because they're in the time zone that is nearest to the UK. Washington Spirit.
I'm gonna go for Washington Spirit. Right, there we go. Paul is officially a Washington Spirit fan.
Nice.
So, Spirit folk, if you want to send, along with, of course, all the other official teams.
Yeah, San Diego Wave. Hey, yeah, over here.
Yeah.
If San Diego Wave and Kansas City Current,
Yeah,
and
Orlando Pride.
Orlando
Pride can throw some shirts our way. That would be beautiful.
If you'd also like to represent us, then that would be good. But the wheel has spoken, but the wheel was reinforced by the good people in the chat, so it was a democratic choice. the Spirits were the main choice. So as of now,
and that is the Spirit.
and also, I can really annoy people by singing "Happy Song" by "Bring Me the Horizon" because that starts by spelling out "Spirit." So I can go SPIRIT, Spirit.
You can be their new cheerleader.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yes.
There you go.
Jonathan Heraldez, Paul's on his way.
There you go. I have been spirited away. See, Nick, that's a Nick. That's
you
Nick.
have.
That one.
Hey, Nick's on it. Nick is on it. Paul's been spirited away. Graham, I democratically voted 3 times. And I think someone's happy with the result tonight. Good evening, Mr. Arsenal podcast. Great job, Renee. Yeah, as you know, we did mention earlier, you know, Renee has done a phenomenal job with Arsenal, and long may it continue, long may it rain.
Don't get Emma to spell it.
Oh no. No.
Spirit, SPIT. I mean SPIR.
SPRITE. No, that's a drink.
Why am I so pleased with
Emma,
myself
we do
for
love
that
you.
joke?
Emma, we do love you.
But yeah, I'm so pleased. Chris is like, that's why I picked it, because it was a Bring Me the Horizon song. And he's going for that. They're catering for the emo heritage. That's what it is. They know their audience.
They know it, and it works. So yes, we will be bringing some NWSL chat into the pod as well. Just checking in. Now pretty much all of us have a team, which is very, very good. Now, before we get into something, as you may have noticed with our hashtags this evening, Danny, did you want to do a little shout out for your Northampton Town?
Oh yes, please. Yes. Yes. 12-0 win over Lincoln City, which Freya, you were very excited about as well, in the FA Women's National League. Division 1 Midlands, notable for winning 12-0, but also for the absolute superstar Jade Bell, who did get given 9 goals of the 12. It's been taken down to 8 now after video replays. Apparently they huddled around in the office and took one off her. So she scored 8 of the 12 goals, but it's still a phenomenal achievement. She's up to 33 goals for the season, 33 goals in 23 games for Jade. The next closest scorer, Jessica Collier for Loughborough Lightning, is on 16, just for which is great in itself. But Jade is an absolute phenomenal. Her pace, her speed, her work rate, the energy, the fitness, everything. She is absolutely brilliant as a player. I don't know what we'd do without her. And we're still just about in the title race. I think Loughborough are obviously favourites. They've got 2 games in hand on us. but level on points at the moment. So we're hoping for some slip ups. But either way, it's been a Susan-perb season. It's been at the moment. As long as we stay above Peterborough, we'll be happy. I think we've got a County Cup final against them as well. But yeah, just wanted to shout out Jade. She's been absolutely brilliant all season again.
No, 100%. And I remember looking at the fixtures and going, "Oh, Lincoln City are away. Please beat them." Because I lean more to Lincoln United on that side. And it was just when you sent a message through, like, by the way, 9-0 half time.
Yes, yeah.
Just a casual 9-0.
Difficultly to defend, famously, as well.
Could you imagine?
Worst lead in football, that 9-0.
That's what they all say. Yeah.
Could you imagine though, Lincoln City women? Right, I need to get their stats up. If they
yeah, they're bottom of the league. They've played 20 games.
Got, 1 point.
1 point. The goal difference is, I shouldn't laugh. The goal difference is minus 104.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Jade, by the way, Jade scored 7 against them last time in the away game. So she just wants to top that.
So that means that Jade has scored 10% of the goals against them.
Against them, yeah.
In the season.
Yeah, that's correct.
Minus 104.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
That is mad. That is absolutely mad. And annoyingly, there's no goals for on the table that I've just found. But could you imagine? Is it just one?
I've got
probably like 7 or 8.
I've got them more. Yeah, they've scored 9.
9.
So Jade scored 8 in one game.
They've done it all season. Yeah. But going in 9-0 down at half time and them going, right, today's the day.
Yes.
And then coming back. And doing all of their season goals in once. That would have been, but no, that scoreline was just incredible. So yes, massive shout out to Northampton Town.
Interesting fact as well. I believe, possibly with 9 goals, it's possibly slightly less true with 8, but I believe only 5 women in history have scored more goals in a single game in a domestic league game.
That's incredible. If that's true, that's mad. That to have seen something like that at a place like the Fernabau as well. For that to have happened there is unbelievable.
No, I'd imagine there's probably I don't know, Sunday league somewhere where someone's done it. But in terms of leagues where records are kept and properly kept, that statistics are available for, I think only 5 women in history have scored more goals in a single domestic game. And only 1 in the UK.
Let's get that verified, because even if not that, I mean, it's fantastic in itself, but if that's the record, then
the only one in the UK is, I believe, definitely true. Let me go and check to be sure.
Yeah, of course. We need it. We need the facts. We need verification.
So Debbie McWhinney, who
fantastic
name. A fantastic name, Scottish international football striker who played for Glasgow City.
I was going to say she doesn't play for Lincoln City. But...
She definitely doesn't play for Lincoln City. She once scored. She holds the record for most goals in a single game for Glasgow City, when she scored 12 against Motherwell in the Scottish Women's Cup in 2004.
Wow.
And as far as I can tell from looking on most goals scored in a game, on Wikipedia and elsewhere, the 2 most are 15 and 17. One was which in the Macedonian League, and one was in the Saudi Arabian Women's League. So one might argue they don't count, but obviously for statistics.
Of course, yeah.
In the UK, I can't find anybody apart from Debbie McWhinney on that list going down to 8. So I think Jade Bell may hold the record for goals scored in a single England women's domestic league game.
Oh, amazing.
That's incredible.
So there is a fact for the Northampton Town Twitter.
Come on.
Yeah. So, Jade, we raise a glass to you. Cheers for that incredible record. But yeah, what a fantastic time to watch it. As Danny rightly says, at the Fernabau. I love it. Love the Fernabau. I'll have to come see you next season, Danny. That's what I'm
come down. Yeah, I mean, it will have to be Lincoln United rather than Lincoln City, I would imagine, at this point.
Well, yeah.
Unless you want to see Lincoln United get thumped. Lincoln City get thumped. Sorry, right way around.
Well, no, Lincoln City they've been officially relegated now.
Oh, they have been officially relegated.
Yes, they have been.
Yeah, they've had a rough season. Like I know we laugh about it, but yeah, it's been awful for them in reality.
We'll have to clip the bit up where we pretty much confirm that Jade Bell is the English Women's League record holder for goals in a single game, as far as we can tell.
Yes,
just
as far as we can
tag Northampton Town in that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just
I've noted down the time to start talking about it. Don't worry, I'll get it clipped up. Don't you worry. And we'll tag her because she deserves to know that we're waxing lyrical about her. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about. Apologies for ending on quite a sour note. But as you've all noticed, probably that all of our hashtags this evening are to do with one particular incredible person that is getting a lot of hate at the minute for things that just simply aren't true, to the point where the NWSL have released a statement on this, and this was 2 days ago, so Monday, so after the weekend's match, which says the National Women's Soccer League is aware of an incident involving hateful language directed at Barbara Banda during this weekend's match between Gotham FC and Orlando Pride. We are united in our message, as this behaviour is unacceptable and has no place in our league or in our stadiums. Gotham FC and the WSL are working together to investigate further this incident and take additional action where appropriate under the league's fan code of conduct. We are committed to ensuring that our venues are safe and respectful environments for all, especially for the athletes who represent the very best of our sport. Barbara Banda is both an exceptional player and person, and the NWSL is immensely proud to support her as a member of our league. As a league, we remain committed to holding individuals accountable for their conduct that so violates our standards and values, and to reinforcing the inclusive spirit of the NWSL community. And really, this is all coming from, we talked about it at the Cup final, the other week, and it's just this hatred that is spreading through lies and misinformation. So we are here to say, we're completely with Barbara on this. We stand with her. We stand for everyone who is supporting her and praising her for the fantastic athlete that she is. And yeah, I'll hand it over to Danny and Paul. Danny, what would you like to say on this matter? Because it's horrendous that we keep having to talk about this, isn't it?
It's just horrendous. Again, like the fact that we have to keep coming back to statements and stuff, and statements coming out, and it's just never. It seems like it's never ending. It feels like a new one every week. And for someone like Barbara Banda as well, who is such an incredible role model in football, in Africa, in the NWSL, everything that she's done, to be torn down like this is absolutely horrendous. I mean, even if she wasn't one of the top players, even if she was sort of a squad member, anything like this, it'd be horrendous. The fact that people seem to want to come out and tear her down because she's successful, it's just absolutely horrendous. That you go to a football match with that much hate in your heart. Like, this is supposed to be a sport and a game and a period and an era of women's football that is uniting the world, is united countries. It's, bringing people together. The fact that you're going to a football match with such hatred is absolutely awful. And I don't understand it at all. I don't understand why people would want to do that. Why not? You can't just go and enjoy the sort of generational talents that are coming out at the moment, that are playing that. Why can't you just go and enjoy it? Because it's such an amazing thing. Like, we live in a time when we've got this kind of talent, especially in the NWSL, the amount of talent that's there. and no, it is spreading into other countries as well. This kind of hatred towards players and the abuse that they're getting. We've seen in the WSL as well. So yeah, we absolutely stand with Barbara. We just hope and pray that it ends soon or ends some way, because it's in danger, I think, of forcing players out of the game, and that would be incredibly sad. Because it's such a talent, but yeah,
the last thing you want is for these horrendous people to win in that sense. We need to do everything we can to make sure, Barbara does keep playing and she's safe to keep playing is the most important thing. Paul, have you got anything to say about this? I know you will.
I fully agree with Danny, with the complete confusion as to how people can carry this much hate in their hearts with like this and the things at the Subway Cup, when people at the Subway Cup were protesting about Barbara Banda, who was playing an ocean away.
Yeah.
And I think it worries me this is only going to get worse both in the US and the UK, because in the US, and we try to avoid politics because keeping out of it, but it's hard to separate this from a political issue, because at the moment, trans people in America are really starting to suffer already. Like their part of sports are being taken away from them and converted back to their birth gender, for example. So a lot of them are worried if they can even leave the US and travel. And the anti-trans hate in America is basically a state policy at this point, with things that Trump has signed into law. And people say keep politics out of sports, but here's why you can't. Here's why they're inextricably linked, because let's be clear here as well. Barbara Banda is a woman, a cis woman, who these people have decided doesn't look like a woman and therefore must be a man trying to play in the women's game. And we're seeing it here with the hatred at the Subway Cup final. It's all part of the same vicious, virulent hatred that is being spread and is being fueled in the US by the people in power, and here by certain vocal celebrities who have written certain popular books, and ex-swimmers, and one ex-failed comedy writer. And it's all we can do, like you say, as Danny says, is stand against it. Keep saying every single chance. And obviously we know we have trans people who watch, and who have made the point of saying, they're scared and they feel this is a safe space, and all we can do is keep making it a safe space. And that's why, I actually had a different topical tag, but as soon as I saw the other two had Banda support, I was like, yeah, we all need to have support for Barbara, because this is horrific and we're all behind her, and indeed all trans people who suffer this sort of hatred.
And that's the thing, it's not even as if anything has happened for this. She's literally just rose to prominence because of how phenomenal a footballer she is. And people will say, oh, the more famous you get, the more attention you get, blah, blah, blah. But this is to another level. This is taking something that is just completely false and twisting it to follow some people's completely hateful narrative. And like you said, Paul and Danny, like, how can you have that much hatred in your heart for someone that you've never met, that you don't know their ins and outs, you literally know nothing about them, apart from probably one tweet from a profile that wasn't even real, and that you've gone, okay, that's the new thing now, let's jump on the bandwagon. And because people are scared to stand up, because there are so many horrible people on there that will say hurtful things. We just really wanted to come together, didn't we, in that support on our platform, using our platform for good, and showing people that this is a safe space and women's football should be a safe space, and is for the most part, and that these people have no part in it, but also they have no part in society or the community, because they are horrible, horrible, spiteful people who don't deserve to be anywhere near these phenomenal people. So as much as it's a bit of a sound note to end on, but we're ending it in hope, in support, and just, yeah, we stand with Barbara. And, you know, hopefully one day there'll be a breakthrough and these lies will be shut down as quick as they start. Because there's no substance in it whatsoever. It's just one person going, you don't conform to what I think a woman looks like, and therefore you are not, which is completely inaccurate, because what is a woman? What is a man? Like it? No, you are a person, and biologically, she is female, and that's it. That's all we need to say about it. So yeah, we stand with Barbara. And as Graham rightly says, these people are just single-minded sheep who follow what someone says. They have no capacity to think on their own in a logical way. Yes, good. And oh, I like that from Nick. A lie travels around the world just as the truth gets its shoes on. I quite like that. Yeah. People are much more likely to talk about a bad thing than a good thing. But we're spinning it and we're putting the good and the support and the love that we share out into the world. And hopefully more people will feel.
It does worry me, because I saw today Sebastian Coe with athletics are now bringing in mandatory gender
I saw that.
athletes. And it worries me that football is going to follow that. And
really,
you know, the amount of vile people saying it's about time in the comments, and just no,
it's ridiculous.
No, it's horrendous, and someone at that high level needs to come out and tell them how bloody ridiculous they are. And if not, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
And it makes me happy that I can log on to here every Wednesday and be a part of this space and see all the comments going down the side as we're looking at it, seeing this, there's such a supportive and welcoming, and like, everybody is kind of thinking the same way as we are, I think, and I hope we're all in unity and kind of in backing Barbara and thinking the way we are. It just makes me so happy to look at the positive side of things and come into this community and see everybody and, you know, think there is actually good in the world, and you know, that kind of thing. So that just keep doing what you're doing, everyone, as well, in the comments.
It's nice as an ego thing as well to think that if there are trans people out there watching, they feel that this place is a safe space.
Yeah, and that's what we want to create at the end of the day. Yes, we go off tangent a bit. Yes, we talk about football sometimes, don't we? But at the end of the day, we're here to be together in this safe space and to create something, create our community, and where we can all rely on one another. So that's kind of that hopeful message we wanted to end on, that the world isn't as bad as sometimes it may seem. Now, it feels like the wrong time to say this, but if you have enjoyed this evening, please do stick with us, because every Wednesday we are back talking about women's football. And of course, we talk about Premier League, great Premier League show on a Tuesday, and Lower League on a Thursday as well. Everyone is wonderful. You can see all our lovely faces there, so please do come join us. But of course, if that's not enough, we do tweet all our specials and tease new things that we're up to. So on Twitter, you can follow us at Absolute Ball Pod, YouTube, Absolute Football Podcast, and the same on Twitch. On TikTok, we are at Absolute Football Pod, Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast with an _, Blue Sky at Absolute Football, and on Facebook, the Absolute Football Podcast as well. So get those notifications on, and remember to like and subscribe, etc. You all know the drill by now. To not miss out on any of these exciting things that we've got coming up. And again, it's lovely coming through there. Emily saying it definitely feels like a safe space. Emma saying we stand with Barbara. Graham saying we will always band together. I quite like that. Very good. And Emma, of course, the team is incredible. Safe to say I've giggled more than I should have tonight. And that's exactly what we hope. Because Emma, you are the root of why this pod began to spiral. Why
did you have...
So thank you.
I've just moved on from all the jokes, and then you make a root joke about someone who wrote the Kelly gags earlier on. Honestly. And apparently she ruined Graham. That's a podcast?
Hey, Podcast After Dark. We talk about it all the time. We'll do it one day. But yeah, at the end of the day, Chris, love you all so much. And we love you all too. We really, really do. And Danny, where can people find more of you, please?
Online, I assume, not outside my house. Oh, that's my podcast Twitter. Sorry, I actually did that. I hasn't. Sorry. It is at Danny Brothers, not at Cobblers to Me. You can follow our podcast as well. All about Northampton Town. You can hear about how many Jade Bella has scored this week. Following that, or at Danny Brothers if you just want to follow me.
Thank you. Hey, we'll follow you on all platforms. Don't you worry. Paul, thank you as always. Where can people find more of you?
You can find me at Paul W Radio. And point the right way. And we did forget something.
Oh.
To mention something.
What did we forget?
We forgot that there is I believe.
Oh, yes. Yes. Paul did something phenomenal this week. But no, Paul, we'll let you introduce it because it's your thing. It's exciting.
So I was incredibly lucky this week, and I made Everton Chloe Bear, incredibly jealous. I got to speak to Izzy Christensen and have an interview with her, of course, heroine of mine. And I freely admit I did fanboy a bit. My first thing was like, just so you know, I'm a bit nervous because you're like one of my favourite pundits, and so if I talk a bit, and bless her, she just went, "Oh, that's really nice. Don't worry, we'll get through it together." So yeah, the plan with that one, I believe there was a plan to kind of try and play it out tonight, but it's just audio, it's not video. So I believe the plan, if you go to the Absolute Football Spotify, so the podcast on Spotify, tomorrow at some point, that audio will be on there as, what are we calling it? Are we calling it Absolute Football Light Bites or something?
A little light bite. Yes, a little light bite for your ears. So over the next couple of days, we will put it out on socials when that goes up. But we've just got a little excerpt of Paul talking to Izzy Christensen, which was phenomenal. I listened to it earlier and I was like, Paul.
Just below ABBA, if you're on Spotify, we're just after ABBA. If you just
Are we really?
No, I'm joking.
You know,
you can tell something else. So we will put that out on socials, which is why you all need to follow us. So then you know when it's going to come out. Paul and Sin71 have kindly let us work with that bit of audio as well, which is phenomenal. So,
fingers crossed, I'll be speaking to Courtney Sweetman-Kirk if I can get that to work as well. And it's all to do with the U10 Girls FA Cup final. So Izzy talks about what it's like being a role model and what it's like scoring at Wembley and how she'd explain it to the girls and how weird it feels for someone who wanted to be a teacher walking into school as a professional footballer. So it's a really good 8 minutes, and it's only 8 minutes long, so you've got plenty of time to listen to it.
Yeah. Nice and short and sweet.
She's the absolute goat, isn't she, Izzy?
She really is.
She's
we do love
brilliant.
Izzy. And also, because I saw Emily say she'd been in a dark place recently and she'd really look forward to this show every week, that's much appreciated as well for the safe space thing. I just thought mention that as well, and this is always a place for you, Emily. So
yeah, exactly. We welcome everyone with an open heart and an open mind, and everyone is welcome. And as Sean rightly said earlier, just hashtag don't be a dick. And you're welcome in this podcast as well. And if you want to follow more of me, at T for T Writes, but I've got about 10 million podcasts, so I'll be popping up on something on the screen near you somewhere. Paul's doing a bit of rearranging, so what a good time to finish.
Changing rooms with Paul.
well, with some of the other podcasts, basically I nearly ran out, so I nearly disappeared.
It's okay. We're about to disappear ourselves. Don't you worry. I am just going to double check that because sometimes there's a bit of a delay. So I'll just make sure we're at the right time so no one misses anything. But we are all here for everyone in the chat. And as always, but again, come and interact with us on socials as well. But we'll leave it there for this evening. So thank you so much, everyone. Good evening. Good night, and we'll see you next week at 8:30.